There are 3 lectures for chapter 7. Okay, if you take a look at our course online, so we're going to spend 3 lectures on this chapter. Okay, so before I move on, do you guys have any questions about chapter 6? Nobody have any question about chapter 6? Okay.
So far it's good. I think.
Hello?
I said so far it's good.
Okay, awesome. Okay, let's start chapter 7. This is about incremental analysis. Okay, incremental analysis. So we have maybe 7 learning objectives. Okay, so first we need to know how to describe the concept of the incremental analysis, what it's about. Second one, we want to identify the relevant cost when in the scenario we are accepting an order at a special price. And also there are decisions like whether you are going to make your own stuff or you buy things. Okay, so what are the relevant costs in those decisions? Some other decisions would be like whether you're going to sell or you process the materials further. Okay, so I'm going to show you over the time what do we mean by that. And we also have another learning objectives. So for this lecture, I'm trying to cover 1, 2, 3. Maybe if I have time, I'm going to cover 4. Okay. So what is the decision, right? We are talking about management decision-making process. So first, when we talk about decision, what do we mean by that? So decision, apparently you are facing a choice, right? With alternative options. Okay, so which course of action you are going to take, right? You have to make a decision. So that's the decision. Okay, so decision does not always follow a set pattern or process. So it varies in scope, right? Some decisions will have more impact, right, than others. Okay, and decisions vary in urgency and importance, right? Some decisions, right, are very urgent, right? If you see the red light, right, you better put your foot on the brake right away, right? That's your decision you have to make. And decisions are also varies in the importance, right? For example, you are getting married, right? Who are you going to marry to, right? that would be a very important decision. Then what am I going to eat, this morning? Do I eat McDonald's or should I just have Starbucks, right? So you can see that in a business environment, decisions varies in scope. For example, in Lethbridge, the largest accounting firm is MNP, right? So nationwide, MNP is the top 5. Okay. But you probably don't know, it used to called Myers Norris Piney. And did you see this logo on the left side? This logo, they write the M and N together and make it very pointy, right? Very sharp. Anyways, this is their previous logo. Okay, I think in the maybe 2020 around, in the 2010, right? They have to change. They want to change the logo, right, to make it the current picture, right? So that would be a very decision that it's gonna impact everything, right? Everything, because this is the logo, right? So that's also a very important decision, right? Maybe not very urgent, right? Depending on how this logo affects the market, right? So who is talking? So please mute. Fagan, can you please mute yourself? So here, okay, so the companies sometimes they will order some lunch for team building, right? So, some Fridays, the company are very kind. They want to order lunch for all the employees, right? So the decision is, are they going for the Chinese buffet or they go with the Pizza Hut, right? Okay, and that decision is urgent, right? Because if you don't make a decision, you will be hungry, right? But is that important? Okay, if you go with the buffet, not with the pizza, right? What would be the consequence, right? Is that a really important decision, right? Okay, so that's the decision making. Okay, so the basic steps, okay, would be you first identify the problem, okay, and who is responsible for this problem. And then, okay, then you determine and evaluate the possible alternatives, okay? So you order a meal, is there gonna be possible choices, right? Chinese buffet or Pizza Hut, maybe, right? And then you want to evaluate, what are the possible course of actions, okay? And then you make a decision, okay? So in this picture, you eliminated A and C. You want to go with choice B, right? And then later on, you can review the results of the decision, okay? You can review the results of the decision. Okay, so that's basically, those are the decision-making process. And accounting plays a role in step 2 and step 4, right? So you probably want to put out some information to do some calculations to see which of the choices A, B, C give you more money, right? Promise you more like financial results, right? And so that's that step 2 is more like a forecasting, right? And you are comparing the different alternatives. And step 4, that will be the verification, right? Once you have all the numbers, you can, review the result, see if it's turned out to be the way you have predicted, right? Does this make sense?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the management decision-making process, okay? And the key here is the choice, right? The key here are the alternatives, right? Okay, so it also have information involved, of course, right? Decision making is really about the evaluation of information. So the financial information, those are the numbers, right? Those are the numbers. What are the revenues this action can generate? How much it's going to cost, right? What's the overall profitability, right? So I can compare the 2 different plans, right? If one plan A gives me more money, more income than plan B, then, financially speaking, right? If you only based on the financial information, you are going with option A, right? So that's just pretty straightforward, right? That's the decision we made this kind of decision many of the times, mostly driven by financial incentives, right? Non-financial information, okay, we also call this qualitative information. So these are the information, that are not strictly tied into those numbers, right, or the dollars amount, right, but it has impact on people. For example, I know that my plan to build a nuclear plant, that's gonna give me money, right? It's gonna help me make more money, right? But it may not be environmentally friendly, right? If that nuclear plant happened to be in the wrong spot, right? It poses the risks of the disasters, right? Nuclear disasters to the public, right? So, nowadays, right, when you learn that course is at 3031, managing responsibly in a global environment. So nowadays, this kind of corporate social responsibilities is a big topic, right? For a company, not only you care about your bottom line, your earnings, you also need to care about the welfare of the public and the society and even the whole earth as right at a higher level, right? So companies who are not environmentally friendly, probably they don't have they don't have good corporate image, right? So maybe their financial will be impacted, right? Okay, and so that's kind of, you have both, right? You have both. It's not all about money, right? So some people say it's not all about money when you make a decision, right? So for me to teach at UFL, it's not all about money, right? So if you know how much I was paid, you'll be very surprised, okay? I mean, surprisingly low, okay? But it's not all about money. I'm an alumni. I received my education at UFL. I feel that it's just important for me to give back, right? I can pass my knowledge to you guys. So that would be a non-financial information consideration, right? It's not just about how much UFL is paying me for teaching this course, okay? Okay, so so the management, okay, Nima, you have a question?
Yeah, I just have like a quick question. I know you're saying that it's not about money in terms of the non-financial information part of it, but at the end of the day, wouldn't you consider the money a little bit?
I would say that's
depends.
That's a very important part, right? Because corporate, especially for-profit companies, the reason why they exist is for profit, right?
Yeah.
But the same idea, that's why I'm saying it's not all about money, because certain decisions may maximize your profit, but it may have impact elsewhere. Let's say politically, right? Maybe environmentally, right? So you just have to be careful, right? When you choose an action, you can't just always go by economics, right? Saying what's the profit maximization. Well, that's just one perspective. You also need to consider other non-financial information. Yeah. Okay, let's use this example, right? For example, if UFL is paying me, let's say $6,000, right? And Lethbridge College wants to me go there to they pay me $7,000, right? So if you only think about maximize my profit, I probably will go, oh, I'm going to Lethbridge College, right? Because I make $1,000 more, right? But then I would consider, I'm alumni here, right? And the professors, they taught me all the knowledge I learned in here, and I'm alumni, so I just feel that it's important as alumni to give back, right? A lot of alumni, they donate money, right? For me, this is the way how I give back, right? I'm staying at UFL, and I'm happy. I'm able to contribute back, right? So that's kind of would be one example. Why make a decision, which university I'm going to teach, right? So there are the financial side of the story, and there is the non-financial side of the story. Yeah. Okay, so basically we are using incremental analysis approach. So when you compare two or more than two alternatives, so we are using incremental analysis approach. Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, so this is the process of identifying financial data that will change under alternative actions. Incremental, okay? So that means it's going to change under alternative actions, okay? Identify probable effects of decision on future cash flow and earnings, okay? So this is also refers as differential analysis. So I'm going to use an example, okay? This is the one example I want to use, okay? So the information, okay, the relevant information are those informations that varies between the alternatives, okay? I will say that again. The information that are relevant to this analysis are the information that vary between the alternatives, okay? So I'm going to show you this, okay? I'm going to show this. So suppose I'm trying to adopt a pet, okay? So the option I'm facing is either is a golden retriever or is a teddy bear, right? So then there's a bunch of things, right? A bunch of things. Price. So golden retriever is cheaper, 3,500 versus teddy bear is 5,000. By the way, do you know that because of COVID, right? People felt lonely or they stayed stuck at home. So there's the great demand for pet, right? So the price, the pet price went up. I'm not sure if any of you know about this. Okay. So then some other cost would be licensing cost, right? You have to have a pet license to have a pet, right? So that's $70 for golden retriever, $70 for teddy bear, right? And also the ongoing dog food, right? So the golden retriever is bigger, larger. It's gonna eat more than teddy bear. Suppose the golden retriever eat twice as much as the teddy bear. So 30 kilogram versus 15 kilogram. I just made up these numbers, okay? I didn't really try to measure this. And the maintenance, you take them to the Pet Smart, right? Do some, cleaning, right? Bathing, whatever the procedures. Each time it maybe cost $48, okay? So you tell me now, which of these informations are relevant in your decision, okay? In terms of which pet to go, right? So now you can't take both, okay? You can only take one, whether it's golden retriever or it's teddy bear. And you have all this information, right? So when we use incremental analysis approach to decide, to make a decision whether you go with golden retriever or teddy bear, okay? What are these informations? What are the informations are relevant? What are informations are not relevant? Ruben?
The relevant ones would be price and dog food per month, and then the other two wouldn't be relevant.
And why?
Because price, there's a difference of 1,500, and dog food, there's a difference, but the other two, there's no difference.
Yeah.
So they're not relevant.
Yeah, very good, right? Because the whole idea is when we are using the incremental analysis approach, only the data that varies between the alternatives, those are the information are relevant, okay? So, it costs you the same for licensing and maintenance. So why would you care about this, right? So then what are you gonna do? You just cross them out, right? You just cross them out. So now you only focus on this information. Oh, up front, I'm gonna save $1,500, right? To get a golden retriever. But in the long run, I have to feed this, the dog eats more, right? In the long run, I'm paying more money, right? In the short run, right now, in the beginning, up front, I pay less money, but in the long run, because golden retriever eats a lot of more food, right? So it's gonna cost me more money. So this is the financial information, right? What about some of the non-financial information? Maybe Karen, do you want to say? What will be some? Yeah.
If you have space to take care of a big dog or a little dog.
Yeah, very good. Isabella?
Wouldn't your lifestyle be relevant? Like if it's an active lifestyle and you're going out all the time or not?
Yeah, very good. And Megan?
I was thinking about like hair grooming costs. Like the teddy bear breed has like hair that'll grow a lot faster than like a golden retriever, and it needs grooming costs a lot more.
Okay, yeah, very good. And who else is here? Erin?
I was gonna say if like the dog is hypoallergenic or not, because what if you have asthma?
Okay, yeah. Jimmy? Very good.
Yeah, and on the grooming part, I think also they're usually based on size. In fact, I got a COVID dog myself, a golden retriever. So we have two now, and they cost a substantial amount for pet grooming compared to a small dog.
Okay.
And so definitely the lifespan as well. Of course, golden retrievers probably don't live quite as long as the smaller breeds, but
yeah, Okay, Michaela?
I was going to talk about the time that it takes to train the dogs, like different intelligence levels and how committed you are to their training and what you want the dog to be able to do.
Yeah, which one is smarter? Golden Retriever is smarter?
I mean, I'm a little bit biased because I have a golden retriever myself, but
Okay.
I'm with you, Michaela.
yeah.
Okay, Tammy?
They said all what I wanted to say, as in talking about the hair, and if it was like for those that have allergies as well, those might be some of the points they might want to consider.
Yeah, Patricia?
I think so. The insurance that we have to pay for them is depend that what brand is, and it will be increased or no, or it is cheaper or it is. It depends the what kind of dog is.
Yeah, the teddy bear is more expensive. So that's the financial information given here. Yeah. Reg?
I think the nature of the dog, which one is more aggressive or less aggressive, or kind of intelligence of the dog also is non-financial.
Yeah. Kaylee?
I was gonna say the price of the food, because even though the teddy bear is eating less, that food could cost more.
Oh, so maybe the teddy bear is like high maintenance. Okay.
Yeah.
Give him better food. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Mario?
I was gonna just say like certain vet costs can be different depending on the size of the dog or the weight of the dog. So as well as different health problems can have with different breeds. So
okay. Okay, so I think that's everyone. Okay, thank you. Wow, you guys have a lot of things to say about dogs. So I wish you can do the same thing on accounting, right? Okay. Okay, so that's good. It's all, you guys made a very, very good point in terms of, this non-financial considerations. It's much easier to, because if you have a golden retriever, you have to walk the dog for a long time, right? You have to walk it at least 3 times, long distance, right? And the teddy bear, probably you don't need that kind of walking to consume their energies. Okay, so this is my dog. Okay, his name is Gogo. Gogo. Okay.
Cute.
We got him. I think his birthday is January 2nd. So we got him back home in February, I believe, and now he's already like 9 months, 10 months old. I think 9 or 10 months old. Yeah. So yeah, that's my golden retriever, and I am biased. Okay. Okay, so now I move on to this business environment. So now we are comparing alternative B to alternative A. So we are comparing alternative B to alternative A. You can see that the revenue, if you go with alternative B, you are making $20,000 less revenue. However, you are saving on the cost, right? So A costs 70, but B only costs 45. So you save $25,000 cost, right? So the end result is under B, you are going to have $5,000 more profit. Okay. So what's your answer? Which one we are going with? Which
B.
Huh?
Alternative B.
B, right? B. And the Google approved
Yes.
this. Google approved this. Okay, so that's the B. So that's pretty straightforward, right? The basic approach for the incremental analysis. So why take the difference? That's my increments, right? What do you mean by incremental, right? That means it varies. There's a change, right? So I take the difference. That's the difference. And then I compare the difference, okay? Terminologies, what is called relevant cost? Okay, what are the relevant costs? First of all, the cost and the revenues have to differ for each alternative, okay? It has to be different, okay? Second, it will occur, right? It will occur. If it doesn't occur, then it's irrelevant, right? Right? Because the reason why we are comparing the alternatives, we want to see what the outcome will be like, right? If that cost will never occur, then why would you even put it in there in the model, right? So first has to be different, and then it has to occur in the future. What is opportunity cost? So opportunity cost is the cost of giving up the opportunity to benefit from some other actions, okay? So you have 1 hour time, okay? You can either use the 1 hour time studying 2400 because you really love this course, okay? You really like the teacher, you love this course, so you want to spend on this course all the time, okay? So you have 1 hour you want to study, okay? Alternative, you can watch two episodes of TV, right? So that's how you can use that 1 hour, 2 actions, right? What is your opportunity cost of 1 hour of studying?
2 TV episodes, sorry.
Yeah, the enjoyment, the pleasure, right? You can gain from the 2 TV episodes, right? Okay, so what's the opportunity cost for watching 2 TV episodes? Thomas?
1 hour of study.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
learning knowledge.
Yeah, 1 hour of studying, right? Yeah, and that can translate into like maybe, 10% higher in the midterm exam, right? Okay, or maybe in the final exam. Okay, so that's the opportunity cost. Okay. Opportunity cost. Can anyone else give me some example of opportunity cost? So you talk about the 2 alternatives, and then tell me if you choose one alternative, what's the other's opportunity cost? I'm only calling people who haven't answered yet, okay? If you have answered the questions, I'm not gonna call you. Oh, this is a tough question, huh? Okay, Long?
I just have example about like if you spend time for watching TV and study. So after that, you will get higher score if you study or like if you spend time for watching TV.
Okay.
Oh, it's the same example in here, right? Oh, I want to take all the example.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So maybe I didn't.
If I eat pizza, I won't eat the hamburger, right?
Okay,
So,
yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. So if you go with pizza, right?
Yeah.
Then the opportunity cost is that you will not be able to enjoy the what's the other one?
right?
Hamburger?
Yeah.
And it's easy. Then you go to somewhere like the buffet restaurant. You can eat everything, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, good. And James?
Going on a vacation to Hawaii or buying yourself something really, really nice.
Okay, like iPhone 13, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I just bought an iPhone 13 for my wife. Yeah. So, okay, so that's a very good one. So you can see that there is opportunity cost, right? When you make a decision, go with one direction, there is the opportunity cost. Okay. Okay, so that's the opportunity cost. So next one is the sunk cost. So what is sunk cost? Costs that have already been incurred and will not be changed or avoided by any future decision. Okay, sunk costs are never considered to be relevant costs. Okay, so here is, so that's the cost already incurred and will not be changed, right? And you cannot avoid it by future decisions. Okay, so here is a cartoon. Okay, here's a cartoon. So this man in the suits talking to another person. So he said, I'm a man of my word. Once I've made a wrong decision, I stick to it. Okay. So if it's a wrong decision, okay, it's a cost, it's a sunk cost, right? You don't have to stick to it, okay? Because you cannot change it, right? The future actions cannot change it, cannot avoid it, right? So that's a sunk cost. Okay, Lemmy.
Professor, I was wondering if, say, costs like business registration, licensing fees could be some cost for a business?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So you already registered the business, right? It doesn't matter what the future decisions you made, you know, the cost has incurred, you cannot get the money back, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
that's a good
Professor,
one.
but isn't that a relevant cost though?
It's not, because let's say you start the business, right? And then you decide whether you are going to build a house or you want to rent a house. Okay, it doesn't matter because that company has been registered, right? Now you just want to look for space. You can either build it or you can rent it. So that decision won't change the fact that you have already paid for that registration fee of your corporation, and you know it doesn't matter which way you go, you cannot get that money back, right? So it's a sunk cost. It's irrelevant.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So can somebody else give me an example? What would be a sunk cost? If you answer the question, I will not call your name, okay? I'm just trying to give the opportunity to other people who haven't answered yet. So I'm giving opportunity to everyone. Kate Chan.
Rent costs?
Yeah, when you talk about the sunk cost, so rent cost, right? What is the scenario that the rent? So what are the two alternatives, the decisions you are trying to make? And in that decision making context, that cost is the sunk cost, right? So we cannot talk about the sunk, whether the cost is the sunk cost independent of the context, right? Maybe?
Would it be almost like spending on like research or something like that? And that money that you spent there, you can't, I don't know.
Okay. So you have some research expenses, right? You spend, and now your decision is whether you will continue the research or you will close the research, right?
Yeah, like is it gonna go anywhere if you continue? Yeah.
Yeah. So the decision is, should I keep going, keep investing into this research? Or you should say, you know, enough is enough. I'm going to put a stop to this, right?
Yeah.
And you know, there's a fallacy, right? When people, they invest into something more, they keep investing, right? Even though they probably think it's a bad idea, but they just cannot stop. Why? Because they think, oh, I already invested so much time, so much money, I can't stop now, right? Like people are gambling, right? If they lost a lot of money already, and they have to make a decision, should I play more or should I stop, right? So the fact that whatever the money you lose before, that's sunk cost. It's irrelevant, right? So you just have to make a decision, you know, should I play or should I stop, right? But the people somehow believe that because they have spent so much before, ahead of time, they cannot stop. Then they keep playing, keep gambling, and that's just making them lose more money, right? So you see, it's important to know what is the sunk cost, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good one. Okay. Yeah, for the research, right? You invest into the research. It comes to a point, you know, it's still having the results. Should you keep investing or you should stop, right? Whichever way you go, you are not able to get back the cost you invested already, right? So that's the sunk cost. So when you are making the decision, don't think about how much money you have already spent, right? Because it's irrelevant, right? Is that how you make your decision?
Professor, I have a question. Could I go ahead and ask?
Yeah.
Thank you. Someone mentioned rent earlier, about rent being a sunk cost. And I was wondering, for a business, would you say that the initial rent would be a sunk cost if, for example, let's say the business didn't quite work out and you can't recover it, but then after, say the business is like an already existing business, then rent becomes, depends on what part of the company. It could be a product cost, manufacturing overhead, and or a fixed cost or something like that. Does that, I was just thinking, I don't know, does that make sense in any way?
Yeah, if you are facing a decision, right? So you rent, let's say you put already the deposit, right, for renting something. You now your decision is, should I honor my contract or should I just leave, right? Give back the property, right? So if you term the contract, you are not able to get back your deposit, right?
Sure.
So that deposit is the sunk cost, right?
Okay.
Because whatever decision you make, whether you go with the contract or you terminate the contract, you are not able to get back that money, right? And that has already been incurred, right? So that's the sunk cost, right?
So rent can be a sunk cost in some cases, but just not in all cases.
You just have to analyze that situation, right?
Okay, that's okay.
So
Okay.
you can't speak of a cost as a sunk cost without telling the whole context, right?
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Professor, I have a question.
Okay.
So does insurance consider sunk cost as well?
Again, you can't, this is not the right question to ask. You have to talk about what are the decisions you are trying to make, what are the two alternatives. Then you can talk about whether that's a sunk cost, whether it's relevant or not. So for example, if I bought insurance, right, and I cannot get the money back, so then it's a sunk cost. But in some of the contract, I may be able to, right, under certain condition, get back some of a portion of the insurance. So then it's not a sunk cost, right?
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
It's really depending on whether your future decision can help you avoid this cost, right? So I think it's pretty clear that cost has already been incurred, right? And it cannot be changed or avoided by any future decision. So if you are making a decision, are you able to change or avoid that cost? If the answer is no, and then it's a sunk cost, right?
Okay, got it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so for you, I'm just thinking about what would be a good example. So maybe right now if you drop off the class now, right? If you don't like me, right? You want to drop off the class, maybe you are not able to get back your tuition. Can you?
No.
If you drop off now, can you get back your tuition?
No.
See, that's a sunk cost, right? So basically, your decision is, should I keep going or should I quit on this course, right? That's your decision making. Doesn't matter what decision you make, you cannot get back the tuition. It's paid already, right?
Okay, got it now.
Yeah. Well, I hope you like me. You don't hate me, right? So stay on the course, okay?
Sorry, Professor, I got confused. So a sunk cost in the moment that you're making the decision whether or not to stay, like to join the class in the beginning of the semester, is a relevant cost, but later now, so like if we were considering to drop now, it would become a sunk cost in terms of the payment. Is that correct?
Because at the beginning of the semester, when you make a decision of drop off the course, you are able to get back at least a portion of the tuition, right? So you are able to change the cost or avoid it, right? But at this point, maybe it's too late. You are not able to get any money back. So therefore, it's a sunk cost. But at the
Okay,
beginning
that makes
of,
more sense. Thank you.
yeah, at the beginning of semester, I mean, the policy, right? It's really about the policy, the contract you have with university. Yeah. Okay, so in this analysis, we do not. Yeah?
Sorry, Professor. And it can be, for example, when you sign a contract with somebody, any contract, it can be?
Yeah, if you sign the contract, right? And if
Yeah,
there's
it
a
is.
portion non-refundable, right? And you paid for it, it's non-refundable. At the moment you signed on the contract, that non-refundable portion is already a sunk cost.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So for this incremental analysis, we do not consider time value of money. And you know what's time value of money, right? Time value of money means that so basically the $1 this year does not worth, sorry, $1 next year does not worth $1 this year. That's the time value of money. Okay. So if I give you two options, okay, you tell me which option you want to go. Okay. One option is I give you $1 million in 50 years. In 50 years, I give you $1 million. That's option one. Option two is I give you $10,000 tomorrow. Okay, which option you want to take? So two options.
So what was the next option? Second option.
The first option is I give you $1 million in 50 years. And the second option is that I'm giving you $10,000 now. Which option do you take?
Second.
You want to take the $10,000 now, right?
Yeah, the depreciation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? So isn't that interesting? How come you don't take the $1 million in 50 years, but you are taking the $10,000 now? So apparently the time has something to do with that decision, right? So over the time, okay, the money depreciates, right? Because there's an interest, okay? So basically, in these considerations, if it's a long-term consideration, right, over multiple years, we do not consider the time value of money, right? So we believe the future money worth the same as today, okay? We believe the future money worth exactly the same as today, okay? Okay, so, and if you take a finance course, you're gonna learn about this. And also I mentioned, right, qualitative factors must be part of the decision-making, right? Qualitative factors must always be part of the decision process, right? If you are not able to, if you don't have the time to walk dogs, right, then it makes more sense to have a, smaller dog, right? Does not require that much walking, right? So business example would be shutting down a product line has an immeasurable impact on the local economy and the community, right? So my business line doesn't make more money, okay? So I'm losing money on this assembly line. So financially, it makes more sense for me to shut it down, right? But then guess what? When I shut down this production line, I have to fire like all these good employees that has been with me for many years. They are good neighbors. This is a very good community, right? So maybe, maybe because of that, you will not consider to do that, right? Just like people donate money, right? You can just eat up the bullet, right? For the benefit of other people, right? Does this make sense?
I'm sorry, I just have a quick question. So if you are losing money, right? You're not getting anything back in return.
Yeah.
And how are you able to pay the community then? Like the people who are working for you, because you're not making any money, there's no profit.
So I'm more talking about like big, so the damage must be relatively small, right? So, it's not like a heavy blow. If it's heavy blow, then the primary concern is the survival of the corporation, right? But here, if you have 100 production line, right? All the 99 production line makes money. Only this one lose a little bit of money, right? So financially, yeah, it makes sense to stop it, but it's gonna, have big impact on many people's life. So then, for the reason of the other people's life, you are fine. You are able to take that loss, right? Otherwise, if you don't take the loss, otherwise you probably will donate money, right, to other charities. In this way, you probably just keep the operation, but maybe you don't donate as much money as before. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I didn't see the part where it said you had other production line and it was only that one that was making the loss. I thought you only had one and it was not making any money. So I was like, what's the purpose? I understand the community part of it.
Yeah, if you only have one production line, it doesn't make money. The primary thing is the survival, right? You have to make sure, right? So unless maybe the government will help you to, because it has big impact on community, on local economy, maybe the local government will, they probably will kick in some money to help you to survive, right? Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, let's review this question. Anyone? I will give the opportunity to those who haven't speak yet. Sometimes the students say that, they are not able to participate because there are always the same group of people who participating, right? So what I'm trying to do is, if you already answered participate, I will try to give the other opportunities to those who haven't participated yet, okay? So if your name has been called already, I will not call your name anymore, okay? Rylan.
I'm going to say D.
D, okay. D, future revenue and cost that differ, okay. Yeah, future, that's differ. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, the answer is D. Okay. Number 2. Okay, so Dan Pearson.
Yeah, would that be a sunk cost? A?
The sunk cost. That's right. It is a sunk cost. Thank you. Okay. So what happened is they are considering whether they're gonna purchase a new computer system. But they were saying that last year they installed a system cost $150,000. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether you install a new system, right? That $150,000 already incurred and you cannot get it back, right? So that's a sunk cost. Okay, so what are the types of incremental analysis in the business environment? Okay, what are the types of business in the business environment? The types of incremental analysis. First one, accept an order at a special price. Okay, so normally you have a normal operation, but all of a sudden there's an order from a customer who wants to pay you less money, right? lesser than, less than the normal price. Would you accept the order or not? Right? That would be one scenario. You can use incremental analysis to see which alternative is better. Accept it or reject it. Make or buy components, parts, or finished product. Okay. So let's say you have the option to make your own wheels for the bicycle, or you can buy the wheels from other suppliers. Should you make your own wheel? Okay, sounds like you invent your own wheel, but should you make your own wheel, or you buy the wheels from other suppliers? Right? That's a decision to make or buy. Okay. This one, would you sell the product or you process further? Okay, if you raise cows, right? Do you just sell the animal, the livestock, right? When you raise the livestock to a certain weight, you just sell the livestock to the butcher company or whatever, or you process the meat, okay? You do not sell the animals. You would further process in this product chain, right? You would slaughter the animal and get the meat, right? And sell the meat. Oh, that's an important decision, right? Replace or retain equipment. Okay. Did anyone recognize this cell phone? This is one of the oldest cell phone. Have you seen this one before?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's very big, right? It covers like half your face when you use it. For those students who are maybe under 20, you probably never know this. Okay. So this is the new phone, right? The iPhone 13. Okay. So do you want to retain your old phone or you want to replace it with a new phone, right? That's an important decision. Do you want to retain your old equipment or you want to replace it with a new equipment? Eliminate or retain unprofitable business segment, right? So in a business, right, if one segment doesn't doing well, do you want to retain it or you want to get rid of it, right? And last one, allocate limited resource. Okay, so the company have only limited resources, right? How are they going to use these resources? How they are going to use their machine hours, their labors, right? They can use it for different products, different production line, right? So they have to make a decision how to allocate these limited resources to optimize their benefit, right? So you can see that that's why we need 3 lectures for this chapter, right? So we have different types incremental analysis, and we are going to go through each one of them one by one. Okay. Any questions? Do you like this slide? Is it pretty?
Yeah, it's pretty.
I
I
like
was
it.
confused at the selling product. I thought with the Bulls, like the basketball team, I was like, why are we comparing a basketball team with meat? But
yeah, sometimes I feel that I'm trying, because this is all like a cartoonish, right? Like drawing. So if I put a real bull, it just doesn't look nice. So yeah, I spent time to prepare the slides. I have to search for the image, right? And try to make sense, put them together. If I only present this text, right, it's very boring, right? And you don't want to look at it, right? But it does cost me more time to generate the slides very nice, pretty like this, okay? And I found it so enjoyable to look at this, right? Do you agree?
yes, and we appreciate your efforts.
Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at the first one. Accept or reject. Okay, accept or reject. So this is often like a one-time offering, right? One-time offering and a special price, lower than the well, it's lower than the normal selling price, okay? So under what condition you're gonna accept it? So the condition would be if I make money out of it, I'm going to accept it, right? And there are, of course, there are some non-financial information to be considered, right? Okay, so the idea here, financially, the special offer increase the company's overall net income. Okay, it sounds pretty easy, simple, right? But it's not that obvious. So let's take a look at some of the key assumptions. The assumption is that first one, so the special order does not impact on the normal sales, okay? So this special order has no impact on the normal sales, okay? You know, if this special offer is made known to other customers and they were upset, hey, how come you charge us $10, but you only charge this order $5, right? And then they would require you to charge them less. That's not the assumption. The assumption is there's no impact of this special order on the other normal sales, okay? Second, the company is not operating at full capacity, okay? So we are assuming, okay, the key assumption is that, you know, even if I take this special order, okay, I'm able to handle it, right? I'm able to handle it. So I don't need to increase any fixed cost, okay? I don't need to rent an additional machine. I don't need to, find a new supervisor, right? More supervisor. No, I don't need. With my current capacity, I'm able to handle this additional special orders. Okay, so that's are the key assumptions. So now let's take a look at this question. You tell me, what should we do? Customer offers to buy a special order of 2,000 blenders at $11 per unit from this company. And there's no effect on the normal sales. The capacity of the plant is 125,000 units per year. Currently, they are produce 100,000 units. The current fixed manufacturing cost is 400,000. And if you allocate into the units, so it's $4 per unit, right? Because right now they are producing 100,000 units. Total fixed cost is 400,000. So for each unit, it's $4. The variable cost is $8 per unit. And the normal selling price is $20 per unit. Would you want to take this order to sell this at $11 per unit? Who would say yes? Please raise your hand. Okay. Who would say no? Please raise your hand. Okay.
I think I would say yes.
Okay. Who would say they don't know? Please raise your hand. Who would say that I'm just lazy, I don't even want to raise my hand? It doesn't make sense because we have, how many people we have? We have 29 people, right? So I think I covered every category, but there's not, when you add all the hands together, it's not 29, okay? Oh boy. Okay, so who think we should take this offer? Okay, let me ask people who haven't answered yet. Okay, Megan, Jimmy, and Ruben, you all answered the question. Patricia, you all answered the question. Okay, so Megan, you are the one who raised your hand. So what's your answer? Why you think you should take it?
I think you should take it because it's a sale. And it has no effect on normal sales. So why not take a
Okay.
special order?
Yeah, but do you lose money? Like you can sell, right? You can sell it, right? But what if you lose money, right? So you have to do some calculations. Patricia?
I think so. I don't take that order.
You don't take that order?
No.
Why?
No, because if I lose money, and well, it is no point to have that order. I reject that order.
So are you saying this order will make you lose money?
Yep.
Why?
Yeah, because the order will be 11.
That's the selling price?
Yeah, the selling price is 20, but you are the variable manufacturing cost is 8.
Okay.
Yeah, and 11 is just $3 that you have there. And it is the reason that I say it is no available, because the current fixed it's $4.
Yeah.
It is more than the cost would be.
Okay, so very good. So let's take a look. So basically it's really on the total cost. So $8 plus $4, that's 12, right? And that exceeded the selling price 11, right? So we should reject this order. If this makes sense to you, please raise your hand. Okay, so does anyone have any questions about this one? Are you good with this decision? Are you cool with this? Or you have questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
I'm not cool with it. I'm not cool with it.
Okay.
But wouldn't like the other, so like the normal selling price for the other units, like wouldn't that make up for the money that you've lost, and you're still guaranteed to sell 2,000 blenders, versus with the other ones, it's not a guarantee that you are going to sell the blenders. Does that make sense?
So if it's in a loss, you lose money, right? I don't want to lose money, so I won't sell it. I won't take the order, right? So, you know, for any transactions, if I lose money, I will not take it, right?
Can I ask a question on that note too?
Sure.
I guess, is it maybe related to opportunity costs? So if the market is strong and you are normally expecting orders to fill the capacity of the additional 25,000 units, then the opportunity cost that you would lose on taking the loss is even greater, knowing that you still will probably make those sales no matter what.
Yeah, so maybe after you take this special order, the next day, right, there's the order for the normal price, right? But you may not have the capacity, right? So if that order is 25,000, without taking this special order, that just maximize your capacity. But because you take this 2,000 order, you will not be able to take that order, right? Coming after, right? That's a very good point. There, you put yourself at the risk of the opportunity cost. So that even makes you lose even more money if you consider the opportunity cost. But let's stay with this question. So I'm not done with this question. And you guys all missed something really important. So this is an incremental analysis. What costs are relevant? Thomas?
Wouldn't you just be concerned about variable cost?
Why?
Because the fixed cost will be there no matter what.
Okay, very good.
Right?
The fixed cost doesn't change. The fixed cost doesn't change, right? Regardless of whether you take the order, accept it or reject it, the fixed cost is always the same, right? So that's irrelevant. So when you are consider this decision, you do not consider the fixed cost, the $4 per unit. So the fixed costs are not relevant. So if you take a look at this calculation, the only information relevant is the selling price $11 and the variable cost of $8. So for each unit, you still make $3. And for that $2,000 times 3, you are making $6,000. So what's your answer to this question? What's your answer to this question? Nima?
Oh, I was gonna say take it,
Yeah.
since no matter what, you're still losing that $4. So
Yeah, you take it because you are going to make $6,000, right? You are going to make $6,000. Does this make sense? Okay. Does anyone have any question?
I just want to confirm. So when we're talking about like the total cost, then we don't take the order. But when we're talking about incremental analysis, because we don't use the fixed cost, we do take the order because we are still making money. Is that correct?
No, we don't take the order.
We still don't take the order.
Yeah, because this is the right analysis, right? Incremental analysis. This one is wrong. Because normally students go this way.
Mm-hmm.
This is wrong. Why it's wrong? Because they included that $4 per unit of the fixed cost. So that's wrong. So don't do this way. Okay, don't go with it this way. Because this $4 is irrelevant. So you only compare $8 versus $11.
Yeah, so then according to the comparison of the $8 to the $11, we do take the order.
Yeah, that's the answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Good. Anyone else?
I was gonna say just a quick question. If we're gonna gamble on our opportunity cost as like in the future, I know we're gonna make $6,000 there, but if we believe maybe tomorrow we might get our normal order, are we allowed to gamble on our opportunity cost, or
So tomorrow, how many units in order? Tomorrow you get an order. What? How many units in order?
I don't know, maybe on average every day we usually get, I don't know,
Okay.
2,000
The whole point here is that even you have this $2,000, 2,000 units, you still have room for an additional 23,000. The capacity is 125,000. When you add this 2,000 special order, you still have room for $23,000, 23,000 units. So if tomorrow you get another 10,000 units, that's fine, right?
Is that where the idea of the time value of money thing comes in, that the money you're gonna get today is much more superior than the what ifs of tomorrow, kind of?
The time value money is not considered. Remember, I mentioned in the incremental analysis, the time value of money is not considered. You do not consider time value of money when you perform incremental analysis.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me take a look. How many people understand this, think this makes sense? Please give me a sum up. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so that's 14, 15. Okay, so that's the majority of the group. So I'm good. So I can move on. So if you don't understand, please let me know. Okay, so tell me about this question. What's your answer?
All of the above.
Fatima? Fatima?
Would it be D?
Okay. And Xudong?
I gonna D.
Mario?
I was gonna say D as well.
Florence?
D as well.
Okay, that's good. It's D. Okay. And do this question. We still have 4 minutes to do this question. So once you know the answer, please just raise your hand, okay? Anyone get the answer? Okay, so what's your answer? Karen?
Excuse me, I have C, an increase of 9,300.
93 increase, 93. Okay. Anybody else? So how did you do it, Karen?
I ignored the fixed costs because they were going to be there
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
And in the question, it says that there is no marketing cost for this order.
Okay.
So I took the $5 and times it by the 15,000 units and got 15,750. And then the prime cost of 5250, and then the variable overhead of 1,200, and came up with an increase of 9,300.
Okay. Okay, this is how I do it. So I will add this cost that are relevant. So basically the variable overhead, right? This one and prime cost, this one are still relevant, right?
Right.
So that's 43 cents. And the selling price is 1.05. So the difference is 62. And 62 times 15,000. So you are right, Karen. It's 9,300 increase. Good job. Okay, class is dismissed. Okay, and please stay if you have any question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, take care.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Take care.